This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred. It's a press conference day and I'm joined by promoter Frank Warren. Frank, first time we spoke this week, how are you?
Well, we've got a bit of a cold and a bit of touch of flu, Andy, but I'm okay, mate, thank you.
I'm glad in the wider scheme you're okay. Unfortunately, Bob can't be here because he's recovering from COVID symptoms as well, but it is finally here, Frank. How excited are you for Saturday night?
Well, we're nearly there. I'm excited we're getting the press conference on. I'm excited both guys are going to attend, and I can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be something special, I believe.
Dillian's had this kind of media blackout, hasn't posted on anything up until last week for the first time, and he took part in the virtual Zoom press conference. How do you expect him to approach that? Do you think Tyson will try and play mind games? Do you think Dillian will try to play mind games back, or just sit there, not say a word, and see how he can kind of try to get underneath the skin of Tyson?
I've got no idea, but we'll find out in half an hour. We'll know. Look, they're professional fighters. They'll do whatever they got to do. The press conferences will be what it is. The most important thing is the fight.
Frank, there's obviously no denying just how big of a fight this is. Do you feel if Dillian was more kind of open about engaging with the build-up to this fight, he would have helped it be even larger than what it was, or because of his silence, it still helped build the fight regardless?
Well, thankfully, we had got Tyson Fury in it, and what really did help is, with Tyson's personality, we did manage to sell it out in 2.5 hours, and we got some additional tickets and they went within an hour. So it's a record crowd without any sort of participation from Dillian with the media. So that tells you a lot about Tyson Fury.
Frank, we saw obviously the issues between, Dillian's team weren't happy with some things, you guys weren't happy back going towards them. Was all of that sorted in the end?
It's all sorted, that's why he's here.
Moving right for that one, I just want to get your thoughts on Tyson's comment yesterday that Joseph Parker was the man who was the replacement opponent if anything had happened with Dillian. Can you confirm that? Or
we don't need one, do we? Dillian's here.
But was he, if something had happened?
We don't need one, we got Dillian here.
Sticking with the theme of Joseph Parker, though, Frank, obviously one man who's been linked to a fight with him is your charge, Joe Joyce. Is anything going on there? Anything you can update us on?
Nothing. Our hands have been full with this press conference and various other crap that's gone on for the last couple of weeks, mate. It's been got enough on my hands dealing with this.
Just going back to the workout yesterday, Frank, we saw Tyson adopt a southpaw stance. Obviously, throughout his career, he's boxed in all different manners going throughout. But how do you expect him to approach this Dillian fight? Do you think we will see him go into the southpaw style?
Only Tyson knows that. When that first bell goes, he'll adapt like he always does. We'll see what he will see what Dillian. What Dillian's going to do, and he'll adapt to it, and that's what he's very good at doing. That. So it's going to be quite an interesting fight. I think these guys they're obviously going to give it all. I think they're going to wind up in the trenches.
You just said wind up in the trenches. How do you actually anticipate it playing out? Do you think at some point they'll both want to kind of stand there and see who's the heavier hitter of the two, try and take the other out?
Well, I'd be very surprised if Dillian outboxes Tyson, so he's going to have to go to war. And Tyson, as we've seen in his last fight, if he needs to go to war, he'll go to war.
What did you make of David Haye picking Dillian to beat Tyson?
That's his opinion. Everyone's entitled to opinion. He's never picked Tyson, I don't believe, in any fight. But that's David's opinion.
Will David be working commentary? I saw John's comment that he doesn't want him anywhere near the fight.
I don't know. You have to ask BT.
Just a couple more from me, Frank. Obviously, last week we saw Daniel Kinahan was sanctioned by the US. I just want to get your thoughts and your reaction to when you heard the news.
What is this?
Daniel Kinahan being sanctioned by the US.
We dealt with all that yesterday, Andy. I'm not going into that again. We dealt with it yesterday. Why you asked him something that was dealt with yesterday?
I never spoke to you yesterday, Frank. So
you should have.
Fair enough. Final one then, Frank. Anto Kakache being pulled from the card. What happened there?
Unfortunately, his opponent had visa problems, so he's out. But now we've got S.O. Egerman now on the card, which is a cracking fight. So he's stepping up, and we're still looking to see if we can get an opponent for Anthony, but we're struggling at the moment.
I'll probably leave there because I know there's people waiting to speak to you. So thank you.
Cheers, mate.